What is going on, NFL fans and Bills Mafia fans? It is Thursday, meaning it is time for the sit down live here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and now streaming on the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. I got a little video to play for that first. So why don't we go ahead and just play that before we get this show kind of kicked off before our usual introduction. But guys, this is going to be a great show. It is NFL Thursday. Thursday Night Football is in Buffalo, so I've got everything you guys need to know as far as injuries. I've got everything you need to know as far as what player props to be picking tonight. I've got all the breakdown that you guys need. That and much more right here in the sit down with the Sauce God. So let's play this little intro.
This is Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, so we are live on Facebook Live at Anthony Bomasudo. We are also live on YouTube Live at Buffalo Sauce God, which all my social media platforms are are actually at Buffalo Sauce God. You can check me out on Instagram, you can check me out on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook as well at Anthony Bomasudo. So if you haven't already done so, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like and share button. You're live here in the sit down with the Sauce God, your host for sports entertainment and daily entertainment. And this is the second episode of me streaming on the Roku app. So if you're actually watching live on the Northeast Streaming Sports Roku app, do me a favor. Come on and join us in the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel. And that way you can join us here in the comments as well. I am live here in the sit down. This is presented by www.buffalosauceguy.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn chicken wings there is. www.buffalosauceguy.com has got more of Sauce God's content and entertainment, chicken wing reviews, as well as some merchandise options and some things that kind of go hand in hand with those mafias. So get yourself some game day apparel, some really great apparel options, and other great merchandise options as well, not just clothes. With that being said, guys, we're live here, and I want you to hit that like and share, hit the comment button, and join me here in the discussion, and make sure to turn those notifications on from me. Subscribe if you haven't, follow me if you haven't, like me if you haven't. Make sure to turn those notifications on so you don't miss the sit down, the Sauce God and Shimbursky Sports Show, or any of the live content, or any of the daily content that Sauce God has got for you guys. All right, let's get it going, guys. Let's go ahead and play this introduction video for the sit down.
Let's get this over with. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's simple, baby. Buffalo Bills football is heck, all right? And we tell you something.
I'm gonna crack a cold one because since it's a tailgate.
Ooh, ice cold, Mike. Let me tell you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are live here in the sit down with Sauce God, a sports and entertainment show.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with guard. Your mama, you're holding your pennies and bra. Cause when I get whipping the sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like stuff in the yard. We keeping it quiet, we moving the signs. But now we starting to riot, yeah. Keeping my eye on the prize. I got me a queen, we riding like Bonnie and Clyde. Trips to Dubai, the way I be blessing. I'm destined for changing my decimals. Decibels hitting the wave, I'm rapping incredible. Splitting they head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dancing, now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping, sipping on cognac. Roll tea in my veins, but you find that I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.
How you doing it?
I'm twisting and mixing and shaking them haters right off me.
What you doing?
I'll tell you what, man. I listened to that by Mark Lee, a recording artist from Buffalo, New York. Man, you got to support the local talent, especially a guy like that who is really dedicated to his music career. So shout out to Mark Lee and shout out to the song Sauce, which is the official introduction song and the outro song for the sit down, as well as the Sauce God and Shimbursky Sports Show. So I see that we got a comment from Gage. I want you guys to all join me here in the comments. We're live here in the sit down. It is Thursday, which means we have Thursday Night Football and Bills Mafia. That means we play tonight. And why is tonight such a big deal? Because we're playing against the Buccaneers. I think it's an opportunity for us to fix some of the woes that we've been seeing. Some of the things that myself and Mike Shimbursky talked about in the Sauce God and Shimbursky Sports Show last night. I think that this is an opportunity to tune up the game, fix some mistakes, and find exactly who we are as a team with what we have currently to go on the football field and what we currently have to go out there with all the odds stacked against us right now. You know what I'm saying? So hit the like and share button, guys. Let's get it going here. We're going to break down the Thursday Night Football game. I've got to talk about the offensive keys to the game, the defensive keys to the game. And I'm going to talk about the NFL trade rumors as well that are kind of circulating around the NFL with the NFL trade deadline looming around Halloween. So a lot of stuff going on in the NFL, but Bills football is on tonight. It will take place 8:15 p.m. on Amazon Prime, and it will be in Orchard Park at One Bills Drive. And at the moment, for anybody out there that doesn't know, because I am in Western New York, at the moment, it's no wind, there is no rain, and the temperature is about 70 degrees. Really a really good day for condition-wise. If it stays like this in Western New York and we don't see any sort of rain or wind pickup, it's a great opportunity to get the run game going. It's a great opportunity for Josh to get his game going. So I got to talk about all this, guys, and Sauce God's here to break down all that for you. And don't forget, the sit-down is presented by www.buffalosaucegod.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn chicken wings that are out there. So let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. This is Season 1, Episode 2, Thursday Night Football. Bills and Bucks, Thursday Night Football bets and trade deadline rumors. I'm going to have some betting picks for you guys as well. If you guys have any Bills, parlays, anything like that, guys, just throw them in the comments, man. If you're also live with me, I do have a hotline set up, guys. You see it on the bottom on the bottom tracer. It says 716-800-1772. That is the call-in line number, but we're not going to have that open for today's show. It will be open on Monday's show, which I am live Mondays and Thursdays right here on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Roku app with the Northeast Streaming Sports app. That is at Mondays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the Bills-Bucks preview, guys. I've got a lot to break down. Let's get into it. The Buccaneers come into this game at 3-3. The Bills come into this game at 4-3. The Bills are currently sitting at 1-2 in the division after suffering a tough loss to the New England Patriots. And this was a game that they should have won. We all know. But this is an opportunity right now. The Bills are coming in as some sports books have it as high as 9.5. Some books have it at 8.5. Some books have the over-under at 43.5. Some have it at 44. So we're seeing a little variance in numbers. I'm going to break down some of these stats that we're seeing for the players for both teams. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback for the Buccaneers, even though he may or may not be on the injury list, which I'll have that for you as well later in the show. But he's been playing really good football this year. So I want people in Bills Mafia to understand I am not your casual fan. I watch, I evaluate, I look at the whole situation. You know, what's the guy's development look like with his coaching schemes and the coaches that have been around him, the talent that's been around him, yada, yada. What's the franchise's environment like, right? Baker Mayfield, man, he came out as a rookie blazing. Had one of the best rookie quarterback seasons of all time. And then he kind of took a downhill, he slumped downhill and trended downhill in Cleveland for the remainder of his time there. He goes to Carolina for a year. He goes to the Rams for last year for a brief stint, which I thought was pivotal to the guy's, revitalization. And we're seeing it kind of come back a little bit. Him and Mike Evans paired up in that Tampa Bay offense. But, a lot of shoes to fill with Tom Brady not being the quarterback for that team anymore. So I think Baker Mayfield has stepped into this situation at 3-3. He's done pretty good, and I got to hand it to him. So I don't think that this is just your typical roll in and get the job done. I don't think that about any game, especially the way that the Bills are playing nowadays. And we'll take a comment from my Aunt Jody real fast. Says, "Go Bills." Love you very much, Aunt Jody. Make sure to give Vin, Joyce, and Big Vin my love for me, please. And all the Dunker family over there. My Aunt Jody, ladies and gentlemen. Best pizza sauce, by the way, in the whole world. And that's coming from Sauce God. And I can't even take that title away from my Aunt Jody. She's the fucking best. Don't drink her Pepsi either. So the Buccaneers come in. Baker Mayfield's got 1,363 yards this year with 8 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. 58.7 quarterback rating, 65% completion percentage, and an overall rating of 89.2. Not bad. I mean, that's kind of average, above average type numbers. But he's getting the job done, and I think that he's, for their 3 losses, I don't think it's a lot to do with Baker Mayfield. I think it's just the Buccaneers are not the team that they were when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with them. Now, the Bills come in quarterback play. In comparison to Baker Mayfield, they haven't had a bye week, obviously, but the Buccaneers have. Josh comes in at 1,841 yards passing, 15 touchdowns versus 7 interceptions. He also comes in at 74.8 for a quarterback rating. That's good enough for 3rd in the league. 71% completion percentage, right now on pace to be his career high. A 100.7 passer rating. And he's got 4 rushing touchdowns. So overall, Josh has got 19 total touchdowns. I understand the interceptions and some of his turnovers have been, especially the week 1 with the 3. Okay, but take away those 3 and he's only got 4. Just saying, week 1 wasn't exactly the best sample for Josh Allen. Tough game, opening week. So people want to really go after Josh's play. I don't think that we need to look at that. I think we need to look at the guys around him. And yeah, he's made some mistakes here and there. He threw a pick last week. I get it. I'm not saying that Josh is perfect. Just saying I don't think Josh is the reason that we have 3 losses. He might be the reason that we have 1. But it's a team sport anyways. Back to the statistics. When it comes to the running back department, Rachaad White, who was on my fantasy football team, and I never like playing guys that are going against the Buffalo Bills with the way that we can play defense, but at the same time, they can give up some big plays. Rachaad White comes in as a versatile running back for the Buccaneers. 83 carries for 266 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he's got 22 catches on the year for 163 touchdowns or 163 yards, 163 touchdowns years. No touchdowns. In comparison, James Cook at the running back 1 position has 5 more carries for 88 carries. He has 419 yards, almost 200 yards more. He's got 1 touchdown, but he's also got 17 catches. He's got 6 more catches than he did last year. I'm sorry, no, he's got 6 more receiving yards already than he did last year. He's got 186. Last year he had 180. Obviously filling in at the running back 2 position behind Devin Singletary. But he's got 1 receiving touchdown as well. So I look at the running backs. You got to find a way to slow Rachaad White down. And it seems like he can be very, very versatile in the passing game. So if you can take that threat away and you make him beat you as a running back, just purely running, that might be one of the blueprints for success on the defensive side of the football for the Bills. In comparison to the receivers, we all know that Mike Evans is one of the best receivers in football when healthy and on the football field, and has consistently been that way since he's come into the league. He's got 30 catches on the year for 468 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first year with Baker Mayfield. In comparison, though, the best receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Stephon Diggs, we all know we can dig it. 55 catches on the year, 678 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Okay? Stephon Diggs is a really great receiver. Mike Evans, though, can beat you, man. Mike Evans can really explode for some really crazy games. I'm not saying Stephon Diggs can't. I'm not saying anything about him. I'm just saying Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield, they might have to really go to an air raid type of attack against the Buffalo Bills. And how do you slow that down? Well, I'm going to have all that for you guys. I'm also going to have the offensive keys for the Bills. I'm going to have the unsung hero, which is what I think will be the under-the-radar performer of the week. It's going to have a prime-time performance, so you got to make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm also going to be giving you some guys some free picks. If my guy Gage is still watching, man, throw me some picks in the comments. Gage tends to have some hits, and I definitely would love to see what you could also put up there as well, Gage. So let's go into our next segment here. Briefly, but I want to go over the injuries first, actually, guys. So for the injuries for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we have Kayvon Merriweather, safety, is out. Chris Godwin, wide receiver, one of the better receivers, actually one of the better receivers in football too when he's healthy, which makes them a scary team when him and Mike Evans are on the field. He is currently questionable with a neck injury, and no update on that as of right now, but at the moment he is questionable. Also on the injury report, Matt Filer, guard, he is out for the Buccaneers. Defensive tackle Vita Vea is questionable with a groin injury. Vita Vea is a very versatile defensive tackle, and that could be a huge loss for the Buccaneers, and that could be kind of why Vegas has got the spread so high in favor of the Bills being the favorites here in this game. But also on the injury report for the Buccaneers, and this one's big because you got to have your QB1. Baker Mayfield is currently questionable with a knee injury, and that's all I've got for the Tampa Bay side of the football. But over to the Bills, obviously with the losses that we suffered on the defensive side of the football, Tre'Davious White and Matt Milano, we still have Dawson Knox, tight end, he is out. Quentin Morris, tight end, he is out. Balin Spector, linebacker, he is out. And Ed Oliver, at the moment, defensive tackle, is questionable with a toe injury. So that's right now what we've got. And real fast, I want to shout out to Linda McGrath, the producer for the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. Loud and clear on the Roku. I appreciate you very much. Make sure, guys, to follow the page Max Sports and also check out Northeast Streaming Sports right now if you haven't already done so on Facebook. Check them out on YouTube. There's some great shows. And in fact, speaking of, I will be honored to announce this. I haven't said nothing about it yet, but on Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. before NFL Sunday kicks off, I will be live on the Big Football Show with 2-time Super Bowl champion and former Buffalo Bills defensive player and one of the all-time leaders in sacks in the NFL, Jim Jeffcoat. I'll be on live with him Sunday morning at 9:30 on the Roku app with Northeast Streaming Sports, guys. So make sure to check it out. Sauce God is here at the sit down, presented by www.buffalosauceguy.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings, the best damn wings out there. We got tons of show left for you guys. We're live here. It's Thursday. It's Thursday night football tonight. Buffalo Bills are going to host the Buccaneers. We're just getting it going here. So we've got the injury report listed for you guys. I've got betting picks to give you guys. I've got to talk about the offensive keys, the defensive keys, and all that and more right here in the sit down. So let's go to it, guys. Victory formation. This is going to be the first segment. You'll see these segments kind of appearing regularly. We're going to start it off right here, ladies and gents. Victory formation. Find your identity. It's simple. What are you going to do? You're going to run the football. You're going to pass the football. What are you going to do? That's what the Bills need to do offensively. Yes, you need to execute. Yes, you need to eliminate penalties. But how do you do that? You establish what your identity is. You attack your game plan, and you execute the game plan to where there's no confusion. Everybody's on the same page. We know what we're doing. And I've seen the Bills have the identity against Miami, against the Raiders, against Washington, and partially against the Giants, and partially against the Patriots, and not really so much against the Jaguars, but partially, I guess you could say. But that's not good. You got to have it for 60 minutes of football. So I need the Bills to go out and have their identity and find exactly what's going to work for them. It can't be to put a lid on Josh Allen. It's not that. Josh Allen is an all-world quarterback because of what he can do. Even if he makes mistakes, you got to live with it because he's a gamer. He's a dog. That's why he plays the way he does. That's why he's so respected and well-loved by his teammates, and why people want to play with Josh Allen. Yeah, you can come out and run the football. You might have the best weather for passing, you know what I mean? In October in Buffalo, especially late October, a night game, you're not going to typically get the kind of conditions that you're going to see tonight. So it might be a good opportunity for the Bills to establish how they're going to pass the football effectively. But I'm going to say this too. If there's one thing that I'd like to see more of, it's simple. I want to see Josh take off and run with the football. I'd like to see some more design runs too, sure, but I don't need to see the read out. I don't think that's the way that Josh Allen is effective as a runner. I think he's an effective runner when he improvises and escapes the pocket and he's breaking tackles and he's making guys miss and he's opening up the field because you got to come up and respect the run. That's what worked for him in the beginning of his career before he developed to become an elite passer in this league. Josh was really a great runner and a great gamer and just a good football player. A guy that's down to just go after anybody because he'll put it all on the line for you. So don't put the lid on Josh. Let the guy take off and run. And I think that's going to open up because what does Josh do really well? Play action. He's the best in the fucking league at play action. It's simple. It's just simple. So get him out in the open. Let him make plays with his feet. Let him open up the field. Let people come up. Because I'll tell you what, some of the best throws from Josh Allen have been when he is on the edge of the sideline. So let Josh be Josh today. You almost got nothing to lose. I mean, sure, you have to win games right now, and there's a lot to lose. But really, with the way that the season's going, and the way that everybody's talking, and everybody's talking about our coach and talking about our quarterback receiver, and the way that we've had injuries develop, you just got to go out there and play football for 60 minutes. You know, you're not going out there to try to be the best in football. You're not trying to win the Super Bowl. Go out there and just play 60 minutes of football at home in front of Bills Mafia on Thursday night in prime time in front of the damn nation. That's another thing I'll say, too, is that Josh Allen is at least really, really good in prime time. Tyler, my guy. Love you, brother. And, guys, if you haven't already heard, Tyler Andrews, man, is the expert on hockey. I got to get to a Sabres game with the guys soon. Tyler, love you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, man, and go Bills, man. I got to chat with you probably after this show is done so we can talk a little bit about some betting props and things like that. But, guys, if you haven't already done so, do me a favor, hit that react button, hit the comment button, and hit the share button. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, turn the notifications on because you're live here with the Sauce God in the sit-down, live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Roku app. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gents, we're just getting it started. We're talking about the offensive keys versus Tampa Bay. Now, also hand in hand with everything else that I've said, I don't want to see drop passes. I love you, Dawson Knox. I don't want to see injuries ever. And I hate that he's hurt. I hate that he's not good to go. But in a way, it could be a blessing in disguise because you can't be dropping on 4th and 2 in critical situations in the fourth quarter when you don't have very many opportunities because you weren't playing a whole half of football anyways. You got to execute in those moments, though. When you finally get a small sliver of hope, you got to execute. That's what makes great teams great. And we had glimpses of it, right? That's all I'm saying. We had glimpses of it. But we got to see us not shoot ourselves in the foot so much. When we're not dropping passes, we're not getting penalties, and we're moving the ball down the field, whether it's scoring points or not, as long as we're not having 3 and outs, and we move and we win the battle of field position, that's what seemed to work for us blueprint-wise, is having our defense get off the field, create some turnovers, create some havoc, and create opportunities for the offense to go and control the game. And that's when the Bills have won games this year, is when they're in control of the clock. But I'd like to see them play a little bit faster today. Come out there. Make teams move a little bit. Wear them down. Throw them off their game a little bit. The Bills don't have a ton of pre-snap movement or a ton of screen plays. This might be a great opportunity to kind of find that a little bit. Offensively, though, you just got to go out there. You don't need to get me 6, 7 points every single time, but you need to go out there and move the ball and not drop the football. Because I'm telling you, man, take away like 5 or 6 of these drops in the last however many weeks, and then these losses, and let's see what the result is like. Regardless of the horrible officiating, okay? Regardless of horrible officiating in any of these games, take away those drops, and we're going to see exactly what maybe this team could be at record-wise. And I think if they can eliminate some of those drops tonight, I'm looking at you, Gabe Davis, 6 targets last week with only 1 catch. I get that some of them were uncatchable balls. Still, who's going to step up? And I think there's a guy that's going to step up on the offense as well today. But I'm going to save that for later on in the Unsung Hero, guys. And we're going to move on to the next segment here of the Pain Train's defensive keys versus Tampa Bay. Let's get it going, and we're going to play the next video. Make sure you guys are prepared for this sound, because in Orchard Park on One Bills Drive, we like to say, it's 3rd down. Yes, the defensive keys for the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. It is going to be simple for me, guys. Take away Rachaad White out of the passing game. Find ways to slow up Mike Evans' production, because Mike Evans is bound to get it going. Now, if Chris Godwin plays, it's going to make a world of a difference for how much attention we can put on Mike Evans, because outside of him, I don't really know of anybody on Tampa Bay's squad that's going to necessarily come in and beat us. But if you take away Rachaad White from the passing game, he's not performing as well as just a typical running back. He's more effective coming out of the passing game for them. Similar to kind of what we saw with James Cook last year, but now we're seeing James Cook and do it all. I want to see the defense stop getting so handsy in the secondary a little bit. I mean, I think that some of those illegal contacts could have gone either way, sure, but at the end of the day, don't put yourself in the position anyways. Pressure. That is what has really worked for the Bills this year, is their aggressiveness on defense. The way that we've gotten A.J. Epinesa freed up and getting him going. Hope to see a little bit more of Von Miller tonight. You hope to see our safeties playing really well. But at the end of the day, you can eliminate how much pressure goes on to these defensive backs if you have a great pass rush. A.J. Epinesa, Greg Rousseau, Shaq Lawson, Von Miller, I need you guys to show in, show up, and show out, because it is critical. We're without Tre'Davious White, Christian Benford, Kyer Lam. Those guys have had their woes. Taron Johnson plays really great football. I love Taron. He's playing great. He does a lot of things for the Bills defensively. But again, if you can make Baker feel uncomfortable and that stadium gets loud, man, it just all of a sudden becomes a little overwhelming and swarming. You know what I'm saying? I think that we kind of saw a little bit of that when we played against Miami, exactly how much of a factor the crowd can be. But when that pressure is getting after him, man, it's like quicksand. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, Shane Falco. Let's go Falco. But he talks about quicksand, when everything kind of just starts falling, and you just kind of don't know what to do. Everything's falling around you, and every time you try to dig yourself out of it, sometimes you dig yourself in a worse hole than you already were in. So defensively for the Bills, if you get pressure, and I need to see some better tackling. That's what sucks about not having Matt Milano. And we've asked Dorian Williams, a rookie, who it looks like he needs the time to develop, but he's doing really well with what he's been asked to do. And I mean, you can only expect so much from a guy, but I don't want to see over pursuit of the last 5 years before this year. I need Terrell Bernard to step up a little bit too, because he's had a great season, but without Matt Milano out there, it's kind of falling off a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So if that pass rush is on point, the defensive backs are playing sound, Mike Evans can go for 100 yards, 150 yards, and I still think that you'll be all right if you take Rashad White out of the game. As far as him as a receiver, and if you slow him up, you keep him slowed up as a runner. And that's one thing that we can do well, is we can defend the run pretty well. But again, I want to say this too, and I said it last night on the Sauce God and Shabursky show, that I don't necessarily want to look so much at the defense, because I know the injuries are significant. Don't get me wrong, I know the injuries are significant, but if the Bills offense can find a way to score or make some use of these touches when the defense gets them the ball, then this isn't even a discussion. The offensive woes have been what makes me put the defense a little bit under a microscope, because they got to find way. Sure, they didn't execute all the time last week, but again, if the Bills were moving the ball and the Patriots didn't have the ball so much, maybe they wouldn't have found so much rhythm. So hand in hand with the Buffalo Bills defense needing to play the way that they need to play, you got to go out there and you've just got to play 60 minutes of football, and the offense needs to find ways to keep the defense off the field, because sometimes the best defense is the best offense. You know what I'm saying? If you guys haven't already done so, though, hit that react button, hit that share button, and join me here in the comments. I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on YouTube, presented by www.buffalosaucegod.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings. And check me out across all social media platforms at Buffalo Sauce God, on Facebook at Anthony Bomasuto, that's Bomasuto. Live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Sauce God and Shabursky Sports Show with myself and quarterback guru himself, Mr. Mike Shabursky. Shout out to Mr. Mike Shabursky. He'll talk shop with you guys any day. Shout out to my guy 12 Gauge in the comments, man. Some of the production going on here with the Sauce God. And I want to say a quick shout out to Mafia Montage over there, built in Buffalo, man. Hope all is well for you. And shout out to Bills Mafia, man. We're live here. We're getting it going. And I still got some segments here ahead. And I'm also live, guys, Mondays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Roku app for the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. So let's go on to the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, of the Unsung Hero. And this week's Unsung Hero segment is going to be what player will have an under-the-radar big-time performance. Well, I talked a little bit about it, guys, but do you know who I alluded to? You're going to have to find out. Here's the Unsung Hero. Alright, the Unsung Hero of the Week. Sometimes Unsung Hero can be who was the under-radar performer, who made a couple of critical plays. Maybe didn't have all the stats in the world, but made a couple of those critical plays that just steered momentum or were crucial down the stretch for the team. But this week it's going to be a little bit different, because I think this is an opportunity for a young man, and an opportunity for a guy who had his best game as a pro last week, and an opportunity for a guy who's got nobody else around him in his position playing tonight, really. I'm looking at Dalton Kincaid. I think Dalton Kincaid is a player that will have an under-the-radar big-time performance. No Dawson Knox. No Quentin Morris. He has his best game last week as a pro. He catches everything. At times you couldn't rely on Dawson Knox because of the drops, and sure, Dawson Knox can still make plays down the stretch and make some clutch plays, and he can definitely be a factor. I'm not saying anything about Dawson in a negative way. I'm just saying you got no guys around you. Here's your chance to command some reps, and here's your chance to find your way into the offense. You're seeing it a little bit more. People were talking about, what do we draft this kid for in the first round? Well, we drafted him because he can play at the slot position. He can play receiver. He can play tight end. He can break some tackles. He can be a bruiser. He's got good speed, and he's got great hands. But with all that being said, the Bills have had their struggles offensively, right? Outside of Stephon Diggs is week in and week out. He's always going to perform. James Cook, when he is fed, and we hashtag let James cook, he gets it done. Gabe Davis has his games, and he has his weeks, and he does his job sometimes at wide receiver too. But outside of him, what is a guy that we can look to and make him a focal point of this offense, especially with the situation of the injury report that we have? Dalton Kincaid. He had 7 catches last week for, I think, 85 yards. This is an opportunity for him to maybe go out there and get his first touchdown as a pro. Maybe an opportunity to go out there and get his first 100-yard game as a pro. I love Stephon Diggs, but with the amount of attention he commands, somebody's got to be open. And I think right now, there's a good chance we're going to see Dalton Kincaid open. So right now is a chance for him to kind of go out there and assert himself into this offense and show his quarterback exactly, hey, I can do this with you. Because when we drafted him, I thought to myself, tight end. You know, maybe we could have went linebacker, could have went receiver, defensive back. Nah. Tight end was a good move. I mean, you weren't going to get the offensive lineman that you necessarily wanted to, and you didn't want to reach for Osiris Torrance at that point. You get him in the second round. But Dalton Kincaid, man, I look at Travis Kelce and what he does for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is probably, if you're going to say Josh Allen's the best quarterback in football, you got to put Pat Mahomes right there too. I mean, if you don't, you're just being biased or you're just hating. But Patrick Mahomes can be bailed out by Travis Kelce sometimes. Travis Kelce can make some crucial bruising plays for that Kansas City offense, and that's kind of what I want to see a little bit out of Dalton Kincaid. And I think we saw a tad bit of that against the Patriots, but we got to let him go free. So feed Kincaid. I think that he is the player that will be the unsung hero this week because, hey, he might have a big performance and he might have the stats, but it will be an unsung hero performance because, hey, we're expecting Stephon Diggs to come out and ball. We're expecting Josh Allen to come out and ball, but we're waiting for a Dalton Kincaid performance, and this is possibly the week that we're going to get it. I like the odds. It might even appear on a prop bet that I got too. Just saying, guys. So, Dalton Kincaid has a chance today. I got a buddy of mine that actually I work with that will be attending the game with his parents, so that's kind of cool stuff as well. And it's an opportunity of prime time. Right now, the way that the Bills season is going, we've got to find somebody that's going to step up and make this team more of a threat than just Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So, Dalton Kincaid, man, here's your opportunity tonight, and I think that's going to be the unsung hero of the week. And I'm liking it, guys. I'm liking it a lot. So, let's keep it going here. I'll take that action. Monday Night Football betting picks. And real fast, too. Let me type this up. Trade rumors. Okay, wanted to add a banner real fast, guys, because I am going to actually talk a little bit about that as well. But let's keep these segments rolling, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take that action. Monday Night Football betting picks. Simple. The Bills are a 9.5-point favorite in some sports books. Some sports books that have them as low as 8.5. The over-under for this game, 43.5. Josh Allen, prop bet. I've got one for you. I've got a Dalton Kincaid prop bet for you. Actually, 2 Dalton Kincaid prop bets for you. So what do you guys think? If you're watching, let me know in the comments right now. You think the Bills cover 9.5 points, meaning they got to win the game by 10 or more? If you're betting on FanDuel, I think you can still get it at 8.5, meaning they'd have to win by 9 or more. For those of you that don't understand how betting works. I think the Bills... cover. I think the Bills at 9.5. Tampa Bay is not a scrub team, in my opinion. I think the Bills are the superior team, but I don't think the Bucks are a scrub team by any means. But they got to have it high for a reason. I mean, whether they think that Baker Mayfield ain't gonna play or Chris Godwin and stuff like that, sure. Maybe Vegas knows something that we don't. I'm sure they know something that we don't. They got to have it high for a reason. With the way that the Bills are playing, you would think that people would want to jump on the dog there, especially the Bucks. So I'm thinking that that's an opportunity for the Bills to cover that spread. It's not a divisional game. It's at home. Really, there's no time. There's like Brian Dable's not coaching on the other side. So there's just, I don't think there's as much looming around the atmosphere of this game in the way that it has in some other weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take the Bills minus 9.5 or minus 8.5. As far as the over-under, 43.5. I'm going to take the over there, guys. I don't anticipate the weather getting shitty, and then again, don't quote me on that. If I go get my vehicle washed right now, that's a 100% chance it's gonna rain, because I don't care if there's no chance of rain that day. If I get my car washed, boom, it's raining. So I'll take the over on the 43.5. I think it's an opportunity for the Bills to kind of go out there and score. Maybe not the Bucks. But hey, weather's good. There's no wind at the moment. Beautiful day here in Western New York. Might be a great opportunity to see a little bit of a primetime scoring fest on Thursday Night Football. Compared to last year with the Broncos, right? That was terrible. So we'll take the over on that. We'll take over 43.5. So right now we got the Bills minus 9.5. Over 43.5 for you guys' parlay. And here's my 3 prop bets that I'm going to throw on this. This will give you guys a 5-leg parlay. Josh Allen, over or under 21.5 rushing yards. I'm going over. What did I talk about? Josh has got to become effective with his legs. How do you do that? Let him run free. Don't put a lid on him. So I'll take the over on that. I can see Josh running for anywhere from 40 to 75. Really, it's just got to be 22 or more, though. Dalton Kincaid, over or under 39.5 yards. Now, this one was a little tricky. I almost felt like it's low for a reason, sure, but then again, maybe people just aren't on the Dalton Kincaid train at the moment. Maybe people really think he's going to go under that. Maybe everybody's anticipating we're not going to find a way to give him the ball. I'm taking the over on that. Alongside of that, because he's yet to score a touchdown, I've got Dalton Kincaid an anytime touchdown scoring prop bet at plus 220. So all in all, that 5-leg parlay should be about the odds of close to a 6-leg parlay. And that obviously would be a nice pretty penny for you guys out there. And like I said, those are just some picks that I got. What I think. I'm curious if you guys got any picks. But hey, I do not encourage or endorse any illegal or underage gambling of any sort. Simply providing picks, bet and play at your own risk where it is legal to do so. Little quick message from the Sauce God. So that's what I've got for as far as the action in the NFL for sports betting picks for Thursday Night Football. So let's keep it going, guys. You're live here with the Sauce God on the sit down, presented by www.buffalosauceguy.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings, live right here on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Roku app for the Northeast Streaming Sports Network, live on Mondays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to check out the Sauce God and Shabursky Sports Show live Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Check out the social medias, ladies and gentlemen, at Buffalo Sauce God for Twitter, for TikTok, for Instagram, and for YouTube. Check out Anthony Bomasuto. That last name is spelled Bomasuto. Again, that's Anthony Bomasuto. Check me out on Facebook for Bills updates. And guys, don't forget that Sauce God is your source for daily entertainment and sports entertainment and everything related to the Buffalo Bills. Let's keep it going, ladies and gents. Let's get to the next segment here of the trade rumors. I'm going to talk about this. The Buffalo Bills potentially need to make a splash. You know, they had some critical injuries. Tre'Davious White, Matt Milano. Those are all pro caliber players. Pat Surtain is on the trading block for the Denver Broncos. And in my opinion, top 3 defensive back in the NFL when he's healthy, right? That could be a move. I'm hearing a lot about Joshua Hicks out of the Vikings in place of Matt Milano is a possibility. But I'm also hearing about Jerry Jeudy on the Denver Broncos at wide receiver. I'm hearing a little bit about Chase Young at the defensive end position. I'm hearing a little bit about Derrick Henry. In fact, the Buffalo Bills were listed as betting favorites to land Derrick Henry, I think at plus 200, with the Chiefs coming in at plus 300. I don't know if the Bills need to go after a running back. I don't know if that solves your woes. And the Bills have been linked to running backs like Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry for however many years now, 3-4 years. So I don't know if I necessarily see us trading for that. But I could see us trading for a defensive player. Maybe Jerry Jeudy, just because these are some guys that are on the trading block and you might not have to break the bank to get them. I know some Bills Mafia fans were definitely wondering if Devontae Adams was going to be a possibility, and the Raiders quickly shut that one down. They shut it down and said that they will not trade the superstar wide receiver, even though he is incredibly unhappy and has made it known. It is not working out over there in Vegas for the superstar wide receiver, but he's not going to be coming to Buffalo as of right now. That's what they say. So if you're out there watching too, I'm curious, what trades do you guys want to see? What do you guys think we need to see as far as position-wise? Is there a player out there that you really think that you want to add to your team, Bills Mafia or any NFL team? Let me know right here in the comments. And again, I just think defensive back is an area that you could look at. Linebacker is an area you could look at. But do I really need to change too many of the offensive personnel? I don't know. I don't know what Jerry Jeudy's going to come in and do that's going to make the world of it. But then again, you never know. I mean, you just never know. But I think that we have a solid wide receiver number 2 in Gabe Davis. It's just like, how are we going to use him? And again, we have a really solid tight end, but how are we going to use him? It's all about finding the identity. So I don't know if the Bills need to make the big splash. DeAndre Hopkins is linked to the Bills again. That's enough of that, man. It's like every year. It's funny, though. Stephon Diggs was one that we had a rumor going on in Bills Mafia forever, and then, it's like 1 year it actually happened. It's like, whoa. So that's it for trade rumors, guys. Anything as far as trades that happen, I will, of course, keep you guys updated. But that's going to take us to our next and final segment here, guys, of Getting Saucy. And Getting Saucy this week is going to be getting a little fired up for the Buffalo Bills and Buccaneers. So you don't want to go anywhere, ladies and gents. Make sure to hit that like and share. Join me here in the comments. And make sure to subscribe and turn the notifications on. It's time for Getting Saucy, presented by Duff's Famous Wings.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ice cold, nice refreshing Labatt Blue on a fierce store behind JA-17.
It's a cold front, is what that is.
I'm fired up this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get you fired up. Bills Mafia, you want to hear me getting saucy this week? It's simple. Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, and also, too, the Miami Dolphins, and anybody that's got anything bad to say. Bills by a billion, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Bills.
It's time for Getting Saucy, presented by Duff's Famous Wings, and you're live here with the Sauce God in the Sit Down Sports and Entertainment Show. And live every Monday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Live at Buffalo Sauce God, and on the Roku app for the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. But Bills Mafia, it's time to get fired up. It is Thursday. You know what that means. Thursday night football. It's in Orchard Park at One Bills Drive. And what does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? It means one drive at a time, one play at a time, because this is the opportunity that we need to reestablish what this team's identity is and establish exactly how good we are and establish our Super Bowl ambitions are still right there because we should have them still, right? And how does it start? Simple. Defense. Wreak havoc on Baker Mayfield. Take away Rachaad White out of the passing game and make Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield have to beat you. But how do you take that away? You get after him with the pass rush. Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, who's been on absolute fire lately. Vaughn Miller, I need to see some action out of you, my friend. I need to see some more blitzing coming from the safeties. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Taron Johnson with defensive back. And I need to see those defensive backs make sure that it gets real difficult and harass the heck out of those Tampa Bay receivers. But get that pressure real early on Baker, make him feel uncomfortable. And Bills Mafia, I need you to get freaking loud, especially on third down, so we can get that defense off the field. And when the defense does get off the field, I need the offense to come on. Hashtag let James cook. Make the kid a pivotal point in the offense today. Also, hashtag dig it. Stephon Diggs, go out there, make the catches that we need. Be the leader and be the dog that can make those just a couple of huge catches that can absolutely turn the juice on for this offense. Josh, go out there, play your game. Don't put a lid on yourself today. Don't be afraid to bruise the team. Don't be afraid to go out there and play the way that you play the game of football and pick up some first downs with the running. Okay? That's all I'm saying, Josh. Go out there and play your game. But also, too, feed Dalton Kincaid. Let the young man find his way into the offense. Let the young man establish himself. Gabe Davis, how about you, buddy? 13? It's time to follow up last week's performance with a real good performance this week and show exactly why you're the wide receiver number 2 and why we don't need to look at Jerry Jeudy or DeAndre Hopkins or Devontae Adams or anybody like that, right? Okay? That's all I'm saying, guys. The Bills need to go out there, move the football, control the clock, control the momentum, and execute. No drop passes, no penalties, no stupid plays, and play mentally sound football, play smart football. Don't play conservatively. Go out there and play your game. Be the alpha male. And absolutely dominate in this game because Bills Mafia, we need to get to 5-3, and we need to get ourselves back on the right track to winning a Super Bowl trophy in the year of 2023, year of 2024. And that's going to conclude me getting saucy right here in the sit down that was presented by Duff's Famous Wings with your host, the Sauce God, at Buffalo Sauce God, across all social medias, at Anthony Bomasudo on Facebook. Make sure to check me out, ladies and gentlemen. Also live Mondays, Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and also on the Roku app for the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. I'm also live, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is with the Sauce God and Shabursky Sports Show. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sit Down with the Sauce God, presented by www.buffalosaucegod.com and presented by Duff's Famous Wings.
I'm whipping the sauce, I'm tripping, of course, I want it all. All of my dogs be running with God. Your mama, you're holding your pennies in
Let's
raw.
go
Cause when I get
Bills
whipping
by
the
a billion.
sauce, you taking it off. I'm dancing on tracks like
I'll see you
something they
guys
call.
next
We keeping
Monday
it
at
quiet,
11
we moving
a.m.
the signs,
Eastern
but now we
Standard Time,
starting
right
to
here on
riot.
Facebook,
Yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
and on
keeping
the
my eye
Roku
on the
app.
prize. I got
Bills
me a queen,
Mafia.
we riding like
Let's get
Bonnie and
after it.
Clyde.
It's
Trips through by the way
motherfucking
I be
game
blessing.
day.
I'm
It's
destined
time
for
to
changing
get
my
saucy,
decibel.
baby.
Decibels hitting the wave and rapping incredibles, splitting their head like a cantaloupe edible. Got me so high, I'm touching the sky. Of course, I give it my all. I'm whipping the sauce, kicking the door. But then we been here before. She ain't involved, well, she ain't involved. Taking my shot, even if down, we tying the score. Do your dance and now twist, don't stress, don't trip. Whipping sauce real quick, stay dripping, sipping on cognac, real tea in my veins, where you find that? I'm whipping it, watch it get saucy.